So good evening. So this class we are going to see about gamma function. Okay. So previously we know that gamma of x is what? If x is a real number, a positive real number, then gamma of x is we have defined using integral. Right? E power minus y to the power x minus 1 dy for x greater than 0. Correct. So this is our definition in calculus. Okay. Now here we are doing this gamma function in factorization, correct? Partial fractions and factorization. So here, previously we have studied about infinite products, correct? So by use of infinite products, I will define what is gamma of z. Gamma of z. Okay, I will define gamma of z using infinite products there. Okay, so since we have studied about infinite products, many properties we know. So by that properties, we can get the properties of the gamma of z also. Okay. Fine. So initial thing is, so this is not a derivation, just how we are going to define this. So there is a step-by-step procedure for that. So just we are doing that. In between some thing we will be using, so which will be used anywhere after that. Okay. Now consider the function. Let g of z be the function um, which is the product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z by n e power minus z by n. This is something related, something looks like canonical product, correct? This is a canonical product, something related to that Weierstrass product theorem, correct? Something related to that. So in that we have seen 1 minus z by n, correct? Into e power something will be there. So if that is there, then a and are the zeros of that function. So here it is natural numbers. So this has zeros of gr, zeros of g of z are, which are this? All the natural numbers. Okay, 1, 2, so not natural numbers, negative natural numbers. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on. Correct? Because it is 1 minus z by n. The actual thing is 1 minus z by n. Here it is 1 plus z by n, so it will be minus n. So minus 1, minus 2, and so on. All are zeros of g of z. Okay. So if this is zeros of g of z, then what about g of minus z? That is the product n from 1 to infinity 1 minus z by n e power z by n. In this case, all the n are changed to minus. So this will be here zeros of g of z are 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, all the positive integers. There we have got negative integers. If you want both, if you want a function which is having both are zeros, then multiply this g of z into g of minus z. Then this function has all the positive integers as well as negative integers as zeros. Okay, and 0 is missing there. So for that 0 I will multiply it by z. So z into g of z into g of minus z as zeros, 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 and so on. That is whole integers. Okay, and see what is this z into g of z into g of minus z. Z is as it is. G of z is the product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z by n into e power minus z by n, the product n from 1 to infinity 1 minus z by n e power z by n. This is what z into product can be taken 1. This is 1 plus z into 1 plus z by n. 1 plus z by n into 1 minus z by n, that is 1 minus z square by n square into e power minus z by n e power plus z by n. That will be 1 there. Okay, so this we have got. This we have found before, correct? That is your sine pi z by pi. Okay, sine, we have found that sine pi z is pi z into this product. Okay, so we have got that z into g of z into g of minus z is nothing but sine pi z by pi. Call this as 1. So this one thing we will use it somewhere. Okay, now use this g and do something else. Okay, consider g of z minus 1. G of z is there. Find g of z minus 1. That will be what? the product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z minus 1 by n e power minus of z minus 1 by n. Okay. Now what are the zeros of this function? By this representation we know that all the negative integers are zeros of this function. Okay. That means what? When z minus 1 is equal to all the negative integers for this, these are all the zeros of this function. That means what is z? Z is minus n plus 1. N belongs to n. So n belongs to n means it includes zeros also. Because n is 1 means it will be 0. So zeros of g of z minus 1 are 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. All the negative integers with 0. Okay. Similarly, we will have z into g of z. Already we know that g of z has zeros as negative integers. If you multiply it by z, this all will be there. Okay. Similarly, this zeros of this function are 0, minus 1, minus 2 and so on. See, z into g of z and g of z minus 1, both the functions are having same zeros. Infinite number of zeros, but same number of zeros. So what happens if you divide this? What happens to the quotient? G of z minus 1 by z into g of z. Since you are dividing this, all these elements will be cancelled. Correct? Elements having these terms, this minus 1, minus 2, all will be cancelled out in this quotient. Correct? So, because of this is never 0 and doesn't have poles, doesn't have singularity. So, this is a non-vanishing function, non-vanishing entire function. Correct? Non-vanishing entire function. So, call it as some k of z. So, k of z is equal to g into z minus 1 by z into g of z, which we can write any entire function. For any entire function, there exists some other function, some other entire function such that that function is equal to e power that function. Let it be gamma of z. Okay, small gamma, just small gamma, that is capital gamma. Okay, so e power gamma of z is defined as, we have got it as z, g of z minus 1 by z into g of z. Okay, now what we have to do is, we don't know what is this gamma of z. So find that. Okay, so we have got that g of z minus 1 is equal to z into g of z into e power gamma of z. So find gamma of z. Okay. Find what is gamma. So as we did yesterday, this is a product, correct? G of z is a product, g of z minus 1 is a product. So to simplify that, we have to make it as series. If the series is there, we know some results, we can do something with that. Okay. So if you want a product from, if you want a series from the product, what you have to do? Taking log on both sides. So take log on both sides. This will be log g of z minus 1 is equal to log z plus log g of z plus gamma of z. Right. Then what is g of z minus 1? Substitute for everything. Log of the product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z minus 1 by n e power minus of z minus 1 by n is equal to log z plus gamma of z plus log of the product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z by n e power z by n minus z by n. Okay. This we have. Simplify this. We have to find what is gamma of z. Okay. First take this inside, then this will be summation n from 1 to infinity log 1 plus z minus 1 by n. This will be minus of z minus 1 by n in this summation, which is equal to, this log z will be as it is, plus gamma of z will be as it is, and this will be plus summation n from 1 to infinity log 1 plus z by n minus z by n. Okay. Now again same thing, we have to remove the log. So what you have to do? Take the differentiation. Okay. So find the derivative of all these things, which implies, so differentiating this, we will get okay. So summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by 1 plus z minus 1 by n into 1 by n minus 1 by n is equal to 1 by z plus gamma dash of z plus summation n from 1 to infinity log, this is 1 by 1 plus z by n into 1 by n minus 1 by n. Okay. See, what you are doing is we are differentiating on both sides with respect to z. That means d by dz of summation. Correct. What you are actually doing? We are doing it summation d by dz of this function. Correct. So that means you are taking differentiation. I mean we are interchanging the limit. Sorry, not limit. This series and the derivative. So when is this possible? If this converges uniformly. Correct. This converges uniformly we know from the Weier's cross product theorem itself. This g of z. This converges uniformly means the corresponding logarithm converges, means series logarithm converges uniformly. Correct. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay. So this is possible here. Okay. This implies summation n from 1 to infinity. This n will be cancelled out. So we will be having only 1 by n plus z minus 1 minus 1 by n 1 by z plus gamma dash of z plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by z plus n minus 1 by. Okay. Now what I have to do is I have to find what is this left hand side. If I prove that this left hand side is equal to this series, then we are done. Okay. So take this separately and see what it is. Consider the left hand side. I'll call this as equation 2 and do this. Summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by n plus z minus 1 minus 1 by n, which is limit n goes to infinity summation k from 1 to n 1 by k plus z minus 1 minus 1 by or else no, first take this 1 by z term from this separately. So substitute for n equal to 1 and n equal to 1, what we will have? This will be 1 by z. N equal to 1, this will be 0, this will be z. So 1 by z minus 1 for n equal to 1 plus from n equal to 2, this will be there. Equal to 2 to infinity 1 by n plus z minus 1 plus minus 1 by n. Change it again from n from 1 to infinity. So if you reduce here you have to add here. Okay. 1 by z minus 1 plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by, here it will be n plus z itself minus 1 by n plus 1. This will be there. Now find this. Is equal to 1 by z minus 1 plus limit n goes to infinity. So n this term is comes here n plus z 1 by n. Okay. So this you can write it as 1 by z plus limit 1 by z plus summation n from 1 to infinity. 1 we can add there. Okay. 1 if you add there, this will be 1 by n plus z minus 1 by n plus 1 plus 1 minus 1. See, at last we have got that 1 by z minus 1 plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by z n plus z minus 1 by n plus 1. What we have to get is this thing. This thing. 1 by z plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by z plus n minus 1 by n we have to get. But here we have 1 by n plus 1. Okay. So what you have to do is just add and subtract this 1 by n there. Then what we will get? 1 by z minus 1 plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by n plus z minus 1 by n plus 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. Okay, so these two will be separated, these two will be separated. So this we have to keep it as it is because we need there. So what I do is just simplify this thing. Simplify that summation 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. Let Sn be the partial sum sequence of this. Then this will be k from 1 to n, 1 by k minus 1 by k plus 1. And what is your Sn? 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 plus and so on up to n minus 1th term will be 1 by n minus 1 minus 1 by n plus 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. This will be there. Clear? Then all these things will be cancelled out. N minus 1 plus 1. Then this will be 1 minus 1 by n plus 1. So as n goes to infinity, Sn goes to 1. Okay. So this value is 1. So we have got this as second equation as, what is your left hand side? Left hand side, this thing is 1 by z minus 1 plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by n plus z minus 1 by n plus 1. This plus 1 and minus 1 will be cancelled out. Right hand side what we have? Gamma dash of z plus 1 by z plus summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by n plus z minus 1 by n. So this full thing will be cancelled out. Okay, so remaining thing is what? Gamma dash of z. So gamma dash of z is equal to 0, which implies gamma is a constant. Okay, I'll keep that gamma as it is. Gamma itself. Okay, constant. So, so we have got that g of z minus 1 is equal to, therefore, g of z minus 1 is equal to z into e power gamma g of z. Clear? This gamma is constant now. Okay, this gamma is constant. we have to find that gamma. Gamma is constant, we have told. But what is that constant? That we have to find, correct? So we will find that constant. So put z equal to 1 here. Then this will be 0, so it will be easy to find gamma there. So if z equal to 0, this will be what? G of 0 is equal to 1 into e power gamma g of 1. So what is g of 0? G of z is this product, correct? G of z is this product. G of 0 will be, I'll write that, product n from 1 to infinity, 1 plus z by n e power minus z by n. G of 0 will be, this will be 0, this will be gone, this will be 0, e power 0 is 1. So this full thing will be 1. Okay. So g of 0 is 1. So 1 is equal to e power gamma into g of 1, which implies e power minus gamma is equal to g of 1. This we can write. Okay, so we have to find what is g of 1. Okay, find that. What is our g of 1 in that same thing? E power minus gamma is equal to g of 1. This product n from 1 to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n into e power minus 1 by n. Correct. So this I can write it as limit n goes to infinity, the product k from 1 to n, 1 plus 1 by k e power minus 1 by k. So expand that. Limit n goes to infinity. This expansion will be what? For at 1 this will be 1 by 1 into e power minus 1 into 1 plus 1 by 2 e power minus 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 3 e power minus 1 by 3, and so on. Last term will be 1 plus 1 by n e power minus 1 by n. Okay, simplify this. This will be what? This, all these things will be 1 plus 1 is 2 into 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. 3 by 2. So this will be 4 by 3. Right. So 2 will be cancelled, 3 will be cancelled, 4 will be cancelled here, then 5 will be cancelled here. Like that, everything will be cancelled. At last here, n plus 1 by n will be there. So this n also will be cancelled by n minus 1. So this will be cancelled. So the remaining thing is only n plus 1. So this is equal to limit n goes to infinity, n plus 1 times. What about exponential? E power minus 1, like that it is there. So e power minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 and so on up to minus 1 by n. Or this can be written as 1 plus 1 by n plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 and so on to 1 by n. Correct. So what is this equal to? E power minus gamma. Apply log on both sides. Then this will be what? E power minus gamma is equal to log limit n goes to infinity, log n plus 1 minus of this, minus of 1 plus 1 by 2 plus and so on to 1 by n. Okay, this is minus gamma, and gamma will be limit n goes to infinity, 1 plus 1 by 2 plus and so on up to 1 by n minus log n plus 1. So this is your gamma, which we need here. Okay, so for this gamma, g of z minus 1 is equal to z into e power gamma g of z. Okay, so this value is called as Euler's constant. Euler's constant, which is found as this approximately equal to 0.57722. Okay, the approximate value for this Euler's constant. So that constant we can use here. Okay, so therefore we have g of z minus 1 is equal to z into e power gamma g of z with this gamma. Okay, Now define another function, h of z. Let us define h of z as h of z as by use of this g I will define this h of z, and by use of this h of z I will define what is my gamma function. Okay, so h of z we can define it as e power gamma z into g of z. See, both are similar, but z is outside here. Here z is in exponential power. Okay, so h of z is e power gamma z into g of z. Okay, then h of z satisfies h of z minus 1 is equal to z into h of z. So this you check it how it is true. Okay, consider h of z minus 1, and you know what is g of z minus 1. So h of z minus 1 means what? E power gamma of z minus 1 into g of z minus 1. G of z minus 1 is z into e power gamma g of z. So again we will get this. When z will be outside, h of z will be there. Okay, just write. So h of z minus 1 is equal to z into h of z. This is one property for h of z. So we defined h of z minus 1. Now we can define our gamma function. Define gamma by gamma of z is 1 by z into h of z. This is the gamma function. Okay, 1 by z into h of z. H of z we know, h of z is e power gamma z into g of z. G of z is given by this. Okay, so that is your gamma function. Okay, gamma of z is 1 by z into h of z. This we can find what is this. Z into what is h of z? H of z is e power gamma z into g of z. We know what is g of z. 1 by z into e power gamma z. G of z in the beginning we have told something. That is product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z by n e power minus z by n. So this is the function. Correct. So this is equal to 1 by z times e power minus gamma z into the product n from 1 to infinity 1 plus z by n to the power minus 1 e power z by n. This is the definition for gamma of z. Okay. Now, as far as your complex analysis in this, gamma function is defined as like this. This is your definition of gamma function. Okay, gamma function. Okay. So wherever we need gamma function, we have to use this definition, this product definition, canonical product definition of gamma function. Okay, fine. So we know some properties about the gamma function. Correct. First you see here. See this. In this, when this denominator is 0, this is equal to 0 at which points? At z equal to 0 it is 0, and all the negative integers it is 0. So minus 1, minus 2 and so on. So these are all zeros of this denominator. Zeros of this denominator means for what? What for this gamma z? 0, minus 1, minus 2 are poles, singular points, which moreover it is a poles, are poles of this function gamma of z. Okay. So only singularities are poles, so gamma of z is a meromorphic function. Meromorphic function. Okay, meromorphic function with only poles are 0, minus 1, minus 2 and so on. Okay, 0, 0 with all the negative integers. Okay, and there is some other property for this gamma function, that is z plus 1. Gamma of z plus 1 is z into gamma of z. Correct. So how to find that? Find what is gamma of z. What is gamma of z? 1 by z into h of z. And we know h of z satisfies something. That is h of z is, h of z minus 1 is z into h of z. Here h of z is there. So it will be z plus 1 into h of z plus 1. So z plus 1 into h of z plus 1. Okay. Z plus 1 into 1 by this thing will be what? Gamma of z plus 1. So 1 by z into gamma of z plus 1. So this implies gamma of z plus 1 is z into gamma of z. So this is one property. Correct. Where are we using this property? In the case of real numbers, we will get this correct. Gamma of n plus 1 is n into gamma of n. Similar to this. This also we have to prove. We will prove this. Okay. And see here, in that gamma function also we know that this is not defined in all the negative integers. Correct. Similarly here also we have got. It is not defined in the negative integers. There we are getting singularity ones. Okay. These are all singular points for gamma z. Okay. And one property is gamma of z plus 1 into is equal to z into gamma of z. Okay. So this is for any z belongs to complex numbers. Any complex number. Okay. And moreover, if that is the integer, then what happens to positive integer? If z is a positive integer, then we will get gamma of n plus 1 is n into gamma of n. That is gamma of n plus 1 is n factorial. Okay. That means what? Gamma of n plus 1 is n into gamma of n, which is equal to n into n minus 1 into gamma of n minus 1, and so on. And so on, if you do, this will be n into n minus 1 and so on up to 3, 2, 1 into gamma of 1. But what is gamma of 1? Gamma of 1 is 1 by 1 into 1 by 1 into e power gamma g of 1. Gamma of 1 is 1 by h of 1. And we have found that g of okay. Gamma of 1 is 1 by 1 into e power gamma g of 1. So we have found that g of 1 is e power minus gamma, correct? For the same gamma. So this will be 1. So gamma of 1 is 1. So this is 1. And so your gamma of n plus 1 is n factorial. This is 2. Okay. This is one property. And the other thing is with sin z. Gamma of z into gamma of z minus 1 is pi by sin pi z. Gamma of z into gamma of 1 minus z is pi by sin pi z. 1 minus z. Okay. So how to prove this? First get this, then we can do this. Okay. First get this pi by sin pi z. See, before first equation we have proved something. In first equation what we have? Z into g of z into g of minus z is sin pi z by pi. Correct? Now reciprocal of this. So pi by sin pi z is 1 by z into g of z into g of minus z. Correct? So now here you find what is this. So here we have to get it as gamma of z into gamma of 1 minus z. Okay. What is gamma of z definition? 1 by z into h of z. And h of z definition is 1 by z e power gamma z g of z. So something like that you have to get. Okay. So what you do is 1 by z into, see here, g of z into this e power gamma z g of z means we will get it as h of z. Correct? So here what we can do is multiply and divide by e power gamma z. So e power gamma z we will get here. Sorry, minus. I'll write here. E power gamma z into g of z into e power minus gamma z into g of minus z. Correct? So what is this? 1 by z into e power gamma z g of z is h of z. This is h of z into h of minus z. Okay, but this definition is what? Gamma of z definition is 1 by z into h of z. So we have z into h of z, but here minus z is there. So how to get that 1 minus z? So 1 minus z, if you have to get, here I should have 1 minus z. Correct? So here what I can do is 1 by z into h of z, 1 minus z into h of, I have z into h of z. So z into h of z we can write it as, we can write it. So which is equal to 1 by z into h of z into h of minus z, which is equal to, so this first thing we can write as gamma of z. Next we have 1 by h of minus z alone. Okay, but what is the property we have for h? H of z minus 1 is z into h of z. Correct? H of z minus 1 is z into h of z. Here we have minus 1. So here what we get is 1 by this is, in here minus z is there. So this will be minus z plus 1 into h of minus z plus 1, which is gamma of z 1 by 1 minus z into h of 1 minus z, which is nothing but gamma of z into gamma of 1 minus z. So we have got gamma of z into gamma of 1 minus z is pi by sin pi z. Clear? Now there is another application for this, that is finding the value of gamma of 1 by 2. That's simple by using this. Put z equal to 1 by 2 in this. Then what we will get? Gamma of 1 by 2. Gamma of 1 by 2, 1 minus 1 by 2, which is equal to pi by sin pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 is 1, so this will be pi. Left hand side will be gamma of 1 by 2 the whole square, which is pi, which implies gamma of 1 by 2 is square root of pi. Okay. So value of gamma of 1 by 2. So by use of this we can find gamma of 3 by 2, gamma of 5 by 2, gamma of 7 by 2, everything by that property. Okay. So that's all about your gamma function. Next there is an application for this gamma function with your canonical product definition. That is proving two important formulas. That is your Legendre duplication formula and Gauss formula. These two formulas are applications of your gamma function with product definition, canonical product definition. So we will prove that in the next class. Okay, Legendre duplication formula and Gauss formula. Okay, we'll see in the next class. Thank you.